The digital guillotine, selective enforcement and the illusion of a neutral platform. The digital landscape is often portrayed as a modern-day agora, a boundless public square where ideas, no matter how fringe or conventional, can compete on a level playing field. This ideal, however, shatters upon contact with the complex, often contradictory, realities of platform governance. The case of the obscure YouTube channel, a chaotic repository of everything from flat earth theory to evangelical sermons, serves as a potent microcosm of this dissonance. Its existence, flourishing amidst hundreds of videos with minimal to zero views, demonstrates the platform's purported tolerance for a wide spectrum of content. Yet, its instantaneous and unceremonious deletion following a single, satirical post about Eminem being Dr. Dre's twink and the hip-hop gay mafia reveals a far more selective and precarious truth. This event is not merely an anecdote of moderation, but a stark illustration of the unspoken hierarchies of offense and the algorithmic guillotine that enforces them. For years, the channel existed in the digital shadows, a testament to YouTube's scale and its reliance on automated systems. Content that is factually bankrupt, such as pseudoscience, or ideologically charged, like revisionist history, often flies under the radar. Its harm is considered diffuse, its impact limited by its own obscurity and the platform's algorithmic disinterest. The enforcement mechanisms are triggered not necessarily by falsehood or potential for social harm, but by quantifiable metrics like mass user reports or the violation of specific, often bluntly defined, community guidelines. The channel's chaotic catalog survived because it did not, in a systemic sense, matter enough to warrant a costly human review. It was a symptom of the platform's passive permissiveness, a tolerance born not of principle, but of scalability. The fictional article idea, however, crossed an invisible yet brightly lit red line. Its subject matter, homosexuality, particularly when attached to hypermasculine, culturally iconic figures like Eminem and Dr. Dre, touches upon multiple, high-priority sensitivities for a corporate entity. Firstly, it engages directly with themes of sexuality and identity, areas fraught with legal and cultural peril. Modern content moderation heavily weights LGBTQ+ topics, but this weighting is not symmetrical. While hate speech against these communities is rightly flagged, satirical or speculative content that involves them is often caught in the same dragnet, perceived as potentially defamatory, harassing, or adult in nature. The use of the word twink, a slang term with specific connotations, and the concept of a gay mafia likely triggered automated filters designed to catch homophobic bullying or sexualized content. The algorithm, lacking any capacity for satire or context, interpreted the post not as an absurdist joke, but as a violation of its most sensitive categories. Secondly, and perhaps more critically, the post threatened the powerful cultural brand. Eminem and Dr. Dre are not just musicians. They're multi-million-dollar enterprises. Content that can be construed as damaging to their reputation, especially content implying a sexuality at odds with their public personas, invites the risk of legal action, not against the anonymous creator, but against the platform itself for hosting it. YouTube, as a corporate entity, is inherently risk-averse. It is a far greater incentive to swiftly eliminate a potential flashpoint involving powerful, litigious celebrities than it does to patiently review a video about the flatness of the earth, which poses no direct legal or financial threat. The moderation system is not just a set of rules. It is a risk management engine, and this post registered as a 5-alarm fire. The most telling aspect of this story is the without warning or process or review. This immediate disappearance highlights the chasm between the platform's published policies and its operational reality. The channel, with its history of content that could be deemed medically misinformation or historically distortive, was given a long leash. Yet, one piece of satirical, fictional content resulted in a digital death penalty. This is the very definition of arbitrary power. It suggests that the enforcement of terms of service is not a consistent application of law, but a triage system where certain topics are designated as zero tolerance, bypassing all nuance in the name of expediency and corporate self-preservation. In the end, the fate of this chaotic channel is a cautionary tale. It proves that the digital public square is not neutral ground, but a privately owned park with unmarked minefields. You can question the shape of the planet or the narratives of history with relative impunity, but dare to satirize the sexuality of iconic celebrities, and you will be vanished in an instant. This is not necessarily a defense of the channel's content, but rather an indictment of a system that applies its immense power so inconsistently. It reveals that our online discourse is governed not by a commitment to free expression or even factual integrity, but by a hidden calculus of risk, reputation, and the crude, context-blind logic of the algorithm. The guillotine, it turns out, is reserved not for the most harmful ideas, but for the most inconvenient ones.